So it's 4 in the morning and I've already checked out because I need to go to Aswan today. So this is day 3 of the trip and we are going to start our Nile cruise. And this is the boat that we are going to cruise the Nile on. The boat is not very big because the Nile is only 1.5 meters deep at some places. So we are in Aswan now and we are in the quarry from where the granite stone for the statues made in pyramids was mined. And behind me you can see the obelisks. It's one of the biggest pieces of stone which was for King Hatshepsut, who was actually a woman. She was the first woman king of Egypt. And this piece was not fully worked, but it was abandoned in between because there are two cracks. As you can see, there are two cracks in the middle of the piece. And since it was reserved for the gods, they could not carry it forward. They could not continue working. So this is how Aswan looks. And behind those rocks is the Nile River.
We got big ferry boats taking
After driving in a car and taking a boat, we reach the temple of Philae, which is for the goddess of Isis. So this is the temple of Philae, which was submerged inside the water, and this whole temple complex was moved from inside the water to this place. As you can see that this is a huge construction. There are a lot of pillars here, and the inner sanctum is somewhere inside that building. So all these pieces were moved one by one from under the water to those black lines over there. They are from the times when the water was when the temple was submerged inside the Nile, when Nile used to flood. So in a lot of these walls, you can actually see some crosses here, and if you follow me, you can actually come to this part, which was used as an altar in the church. And this was during the times when the French forces had occupied. We are talking about 323 BC when Alexander invaded Egypt. And that time they converted this into a church, and this was the altar used for the services. And you can see that the innermost part of it is faded, and that is because this temple used to be inside the water, and the plaster which was depicting Mary and Jesus has been washed off because of this water being inside this temple. So like many Indian temples, this temple also has a courtyard. As you can see that this is a wide courtyard where the common people used to come and gather, and those rooms are where the gatherings, the offerings from the people used to be kept. On this side you can see that this is Isis, but on the left hand side, if you look here again, then those statues have been defaced because those were topless statues of goddess Isis, and when the Greeks came here, they didn't want a topless statue in a temple, or they didn't want they wanted to use this as a church. Sandstorm looks like. I have just come out and there's a lot of wind here. We are in Aswan still and there's a lot of wind. So I'm going to go inside again. Next morning we sailed towards Komombo to see the temple of Komombo, which is a very special temple in Egypt. we are in the temple of Ombu, and the speciality of this temple is that this is for two gods, two enemy gods. As you can see here, there are two inner sanctums here, each for one god. And what I learned also was that the priests in these temples were both scientists or doctors. And this temple is known for, or was known for, specializing within medical science. So you can actually see that some of the images here, they show women giving birth, and this was a focus of the priest in this temple. The priests were scientists as well. There is another evidence of how methodical they were. This is the first noted calendar that is found in Egypt. It's difficult for me to read everything, but this horseshoe represents 10 and this represents 1. So this was the day 26, and similarly it goes down all the way down till the time they use a horse tail to represent the end of the month. And this calendar was used to indicate which offering was made to which god at what time of the month. You can also see three different lionesses here, and they represent the three agricultural season that prevailed in Egypt at that point of time. And soon after, we were back in our boat for the cruise. Our next stop was the village of Edfu, where we went to see another temple. So I'm in the temple of Horus in the city of Edfu, and this temple is very well known because it is a fully formed temple which was buried under sand. As you can see around me, it's that is the main courtyard which has 38 columns, and this is the inner sanctum. Over there, you can see that is where the statue of the god was kept, and it seems like it is this house inside is made of metal. It's not really made of metal, it's made of granite which has been polished very well, and there have been holes in the ceilings above for the light to reflect on this granite to give it a look as if it is made of silver, which was a very precious metal, more precious than gold at that point of time. So we're on the Nile, and there's an elevation difference between two parts of Nile. The elevation difference is roughly 8 meters, and as you can see on the front, in the center of Nile River, there are those lights. Those lights indicate a lock system which has been made in order to let the ship go through this elevation difference. So what happens is the ship goes into the lock, the water is blocked from both the sides, and then once the ship is inside, the water is allowed to go on the other side, so it's allowed to flow out. As a result of that, the entire tank empty. And now it's our turn to go into this lock. So we have the left corridor. We are going to take that one now. So now we are inside the lock, and as you can see, we are on the upper deck of this boat, which is at the same level as that bridge out there. So we are not going to hit that bridge, and the reason for that is there is an elevation difference. Possibly you cannot make out, but the elevation difference between this part of the Nile and that part of Nile is roughly 8 meters. So we are inside the lock, and the water is going to go down, and once we are at the same level as that part of Nile, the gates are going to open, and then we can sail. So now you can see that we have started to go down. The water is being released from that gate, and the boat is slowly moving. We can't feel it on the boat right now, but it's slowly, steadily going down. We have actually reached the level that we were supposed to, and the doors are opening now. The gates are opening now. So if you come here, then you can see this is the elevation that we have covered. This elevation is close to, I would say, 7 to 8 meters. But that is the elevation that we have covered, and now we are going to go out. This morning we docked in Luxor, and with this I end my 2-day Nile cruise. In last 2 days I not only saw the high dam of Aswan and the temple of Philae over there, but I traveled across Nile to see the temple of Edfu and Komombo. And now finally we are in Luxor. Nile cruise is a fantastic way of learning about the history of Egypt through the eyes of the river itself. So I cannot not recommend this trip to anyone.